Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got Josh here with me and his 2014 12 WRX, and he's got some new parts to install. So he's got this Mishimoto top mount intercooler. And where did you buy this from?
It's from Pro Speed Racing.
How much did you pay?
No, sorry, it's from eBay.
eBay?
I paid $650.
$650. And then he's got some DBA T2 slotted front and rear rotors, and also some DBA street pads for the front and the rear as well. And then they're the intercooler couplers for that to install. So where do you want to start?
Probably start the intercooler.
The intercooler? Okay. So first you can remove the vacuum line off the blow-off valve, and you can remove the blow-off valve. You don't have to, but it just needs to come off anyway at this stage. Then remove the recirculation hose from it. Then you need to crack loose these two 12mm bolts holding the intercooler to the turbo outlet. And there's one more on a support bracket on the other side. Then you can release the clamp on the intercooler side and slowly pull that up and out. Oi. Big boy.
So light.
Big boy. Okay.
This one can go in.
And slide it in. So now you just want to remove a 10mm bolt holding this line on for the recirculation of the blow-off valve. It's going to give you access so you can undo the hose clamp on the throttle body that connects to the intercooler. This is actually installed the wrong way around, so you want to have the writing pointing up on the intercooler side. Then you want to put the new seal on the intercooler before you install it. It's easier if you remove the rest of this bracket so it doesn't get in the way. And the wiring harness is just clipped to that bracket. Now you can install the intercooler. Make sure you bolt that blow-off valve recirculation hose before you install the intercooler. And you can redo the two 12mm bolts on the turbo. Make sure you don't strip them. And then you can plumb the blow-off valve back in. Don't forget to do the hose clamps up on the intercooler as well. So you want to start with removing all four wheels off the car so you can get access to the brakes. And you can use a 17mm ratchet spanner to remove the two bolts at the top and the bottom holding the caliper on. It pulls off to the side, and you can just sit the caliper on the lower control arm so the hose doesn't get stretched. So before you can install it, there's like an oil coating on this so it doesn't rust. So you need to clean the surface. You can do the honors. Now just remove these two 14mm bolts holding the sliding mechanism on the caliper. This is going to make it easier to get the pads out. Then bolt it back up, just leaving them loose. Then you can bolt the caliper back onto the spindle. Make sure they're very tight. Then lift up the caliper so you can push back the pistons. I'm just using some multi-grips here, which makes it quite easy and quick. Now we're replacing that as well. This kit also came with the pad retaining clips, which is not normal, but in this case we've decided to switch them out because we had new ones. So the grease that comes with it, you want to put on the corners where the pad is actually contacting on the caliper, and then you can put a bit on the back for movement around. And then this one goes on the outside like that. Just explaining to Josh, it's easier if you push the pad down and then push the top in. Then you can reinstall the 40mm bolt on the sliding mechanism on the caliper and do those up. All that excess grease you want to wipe off before you finish as well, so it doesn't attract too much dust. And give it a final clean as well, just in case you put oily fingerprints on it. Then we're moving on to the back, which is pretty much a repeat of the front, removing the bolts holding the caliper on, top and bottom. Then you can remove the caliper, just sitting it up on the upper control arm, and just give the disc a bit of a tap because the drum handbrake might still be sticking a bit. Then you can slide the new disc on. Make sure that the handbrake is not applied when you're trying to remove the disc, and reapply it. Then you can pop out the old brake pads. Reinstall the caliper. Then just crack loose these slider pins on the caliper and remove the lower bolt. Just greasing up the rear pads before we install them. Same deal as the front, push down the bottom and then the top in, and repeat for the back as well. Then you can push back the piston. And reinstall the bolt for the sliding mechanism. And make sure you do up everything tight before you finish. Alright, so the intercooler's in. You didn't see the whole process just because we had to fumble around. If you are doing this yourself, you need to put the writing to the top on the intercooler side and it should be fine. Josh is just throwing on the wheels now and we'll take it for a drive and we'll see if it's any quicker. And we'll also have to bed in the brakes that we just installed as well. Looks cool. Alright, we just bedded in the brakes. What do you think so far?
It's really good. It's more responsive now. Like, I don't have to press as hard as before.
The pedals higher as well.
Slightly higher, but still kind of feels the same as before. But yeah, so far so good.
Can you feel any difference from the intercooler yet?
Not really. We had to do like a couple of pulls.
Holy shit. They feel quicker.
Yeah,
No,
a tiny bit, I guess.
Oh.
Well, I mean, because you're in it as well, I think it does feel a little bit quicker.
Oh. Yeah, I was like, from last time we drove it felt quicker. Like, I don't remember it being like that quick before.
I do a bit of first gear pull.
Right, that feels quick. That's
It is
like
quicker,
proper
yeah.
quick, yeah. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good, good. So just was closing out the video and I was wondering how you've been going with your mods on the WRX, the brakes and the intercooler.
Honestly, it feels like a stock WRX. Apart from the brakes, it feels more effective. But to be honest, in terms of like the power, it's sort of the same as before installing the intercooler. But other than that, I think the car feels great overall with the brakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video. Cheers.